Today, Bisic in the corner, step back. He just drained another one. Are you kidding me?
I really like it here. I feel accepted here. Like I'm home. People are really nice here also.
This is the Morning Rush.
One in, one out. The initial first player that arrived here for John Calipari in his first season as Arkansas has now entered the transfer portal. Some good memories that you just heard from Zvonimir Bisic. Had a couple outstanding performances for the Arkansas Razorbacks, but Tommy, that's just kind of the day we live in college sports. Kid's here for a year, and then he ventures elsewhere. Kentucky, Arkansas, and now we'll see where he ends up next in his college basketball career.
The way his play was up and down at times, and had about 3 good games he strung together, and then the play towards the end of the year was off, even though he's in the starting lineup. Kind of maybe gave you some clues this was coming in hindsight. I mean, maybe that's what I want to read into this, but I'd like to tell you, man, I'm totally shocked by this. I'm totally surprised, but that would just be lying to you.
I think there were some interactions I noticed, and I put this asterisk around it. Like sometimes players and coaches yell at each other, and I noticed a few of them between Cal and Z at the latter part of the season. I also saw his minutes diminish. Trevin started to shine. Jonas Adu started to shine, and unfortunately, Big Z was not able to get as many minutes as he had at other parts of the season. He played some stiffer competition down the stretch and just was not as impactful. I'm always curious to see where guys end up after they leave Arkansas. Do they go to a greater than or equal to school in college basketball, or is it going to be a lesser program? I know people immediately point to his brother. I think it's Tomislav that's playing for Illinois right now, and I got no idea if there's any validity to that or not. Either way, he is, at least as of this moment, not going to be an Arkansas Razorback next year. Now it's a matter of who you get this week. I was thinking about this before we came on. You know how sometimes you feel like in football, when a kid commits to Arkansas, he goes from like a 4-star to a 3-star. Like you just feel like that's the case. I feel like that a kid that may not end up going to Fayetteville for basketball wants to put Arkansas in his top 5 just so he feels like that, hey, I'm good enough to be recruited by Coach Calipari. It could be a very brief conversation. It could be a back and forth of 2 minutes. And the kid still feels like, well, I'm going to put Arkansas in the top 5 so people know that whether it's me and Cal or me, one of the coaches, that I'm at least being considered to play basketball in Arkansas. It's kind of the opposite of football.
I don't know.
There's some truth to that.
I don't know that just because you put Arkansas in your top 5 doesn't mean Arkansas has you in their top 5. Because I don't know, what's got 3 high school players coming, right? And a couple in the McDonald's All-American.
You got 2 in the McDonald's All-Americans, right. And then Isaiah Seeley, who's a 4-star.
So 3 high school, probably 5 or 6 at least returning players, right?
Yeah, Brandon Baker does a really good.
So that gets you to 8. You got 15 scholarships. I mean, you just start counting the seats at the table.
You've got 4 open spots. If all 7 guys return, Brazil, Thero, right? DJ, Carter, Boogie, Billy, and Jaden, Carlo Retois, then you'll have, again, 4 open spots. Now, that includes the 3 freshmen and then Kareem Ratal, who's the European forward 6'9" guy. So this is after Melo Sanchez also is entering the portal yesterday. He's got 1 year of eligibility. So a lot of trades. I would encourage, if you don't, this guy Brandon Baker on Twitter does a great job of breaking out like a box roster tracker. Does a fantastic job. So I would definitely monitor that if you just kind of want to see where Arkansas's roster could be set up here in the coming weeks when it comes to this basketball team next season.
Well, what I do is I download the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell and stay tuned right here to ESPN Arkansas. And today, there's going to be changes. It's portal season. So we're going to have changes, and our shows will keep you up to date. Taco Bell, whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, they got you covered. Taco Bell, get the Hit That Line Now app. So I think we've moved into a kind of a newly formed season. We've kind of had portal tracking season in all the sports that we follow, but
plane tracking.
I think we're now in portal tracking season for basketball. And I don't think this, I think it's as much watching guys like Boogie Fland. I don't think, and I may be proven wrong within the hour, I don't think Fland's going into the portal. I think the thing you got to watch with a guy like Boogie Fland is he's going to declare for the draft,
which
so
you can do.
I think with this roster and where you're at, it's about we got to get the dates of all right when you got to declare by, when you can take your name out, when you can re-enter, because in basketball it's different than any other sport.
Yeah, which you can do and still maintain your college eligibility. I don't have the exact date in front of me. We're going to have Richard Davenport with us tomorrow. You could do that and still withdraw your name, still be eligible to play college. That's one of the new wrinkles that they've come up with the last couple of years. By the way, Tyler Greenwood texted in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, Colton, saying, "Are we living in communist Russia?" with the theme music that was attached to that. I thought that was a pretty good open this morning. Turn your on program. There you go. I thought that was a pretty good open this morning, but he wanted to ask you that question.
Yeah, Staroslave di novina da vivav sretna vila.
I think you mispronounced that.
Yeah, our family's ancient glory, may you be blessed forever. Yeah. That's what I have to say to that. So thank you, Tyler.
Sayonara. That's what I would say.
I was going to say I didn't know what that was until you read the definition.
No, I thought that we were honoring Big Z today, so I'd make him feel comfortable with some homeland national anthem right there, Croatia. Yeah,
he's no longer part of the family.
So he's spent time in Lexington, Kentucky, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Is he state regional?
He's really only played 3 semesters of basketball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he
wasn't eligible that first semester. They fight. Cal fought to get him eligible, got him. And I'm not even. I don't think he even played that full second semester, if I remember right. So this isn't a guy with a ton of experience under his belt. But the one thing you can't coach is that size, that height, and that's the one thing that's it's going to be attractive. Hey, if you drive while using your device to text or scroll through social media, they call you a distracted driver. Between 2011 and 2020, more than 32,000 Americans lost their lives in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers, and the problem is only getting worse. Hey, be honest. How often do you drive distracted? I know we all do it, but research shows that the younger drivers are even more likely to use their phones while driving, and the result is 8% of all traffic fatalities are now linked to distracted drivers. There's no excuse for putting other people at risk with distracted driving, so when you're driving, pay attention to the road. Remember, Arkansas drivers, put the phone away or pay. This brought to you by the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office. Put that phone away.
You got a chance to.
You're doing distracted radio right now.
Well,
you're texting and talking.
I'm looking up the time of the All-American game tonight because I've seen it in 2 different. Is it at 8 or 7 o'clock tonight? I've seen it.
It's at 8. It's at 8 p.m. Central. I said 7 yesterday because I forgot what time zone I live in.
I referenced. I've seen 2 different references. I mentioned Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas. Here's these 2 on what next season could be.
100%. I think we could win a national championship.
Facts.
So they're already looking ahead to this next season. So if you want to watch 2 future Arkansas Razorbacks, you can do that tonight. All right, you've got the Final Four this weekend. Our buddy Bruce Stan of Pradco Fishing going to join us. Opening drive involves Janai Broom and his health heading into this weekend.
We won't know until later today as far as what they determine, and then just see how he feels. Is there any more swelling in the joint? How did he respond overnight? We'll wind up knowing that probably by the end of the day today or tomorrow.
This is the opening drive.
All right, so that's Bruce Pearl, Auburn head coach, talking about Janai Broom. He was on radio yesterday, and Bruce, that's a huge factor heading into this Florida game. I think a lot of what he was able to accomplish against Michigan State was on adrenaline and kind of in the moment. I think as that injury kind of swells up and he starts to have to deal with it a little bit, Florida's got a really good front line. Kind of what's your thoughts on the Final Four game ahead and his health heading into the game this weekend?
Well, first of all, I wish they could both lose. I don't really want to root for either one of them. So getting that out of the way, it'll be hard for Auburn to beat Florida without a healthy Broom. He's not healthy. You could tell he was holding that right arm down, and it was really affecting him. I agree with you on the adrenaline thing. When you look at Condon and Houch and just the big guys that Florida has, and then Walter Clayton, it's going to be a tough ask with a healthy Broom. Broom at 60 or 70%, it's probably going to be tough for Auburn.
Do you guys know the backstory on Walter Clayton? So, he wasn't highly recruited basketball-wise at all out of high school. He was like a 3-star quarterback, and just decides, I want to play basketball. I'd rather do this. Starts his career, I guess, at Iona, and then ends up a Florida Gator. You talk about betting on yourself, Bruce. It's paying off this year, isn't it?
Well, you look at it, a lot of these kids. Janai Broom went to Morehead State.
Yep.
And, we think we got all these coaches and metrics and data, and we're great at recruiting. Maybe we're not as good at recruiting as we think. We saw Dalton Connect last year come onto the scene and become a first-round pick for the Lakers. I mean, it just sometimes these kids develop when they get to college and they grow into their body. They become more physical and they keep their shooting skills. And, we're seeing a lot more of that. You wouldn't think you would, but Power 5, they missed a lot of recruits, but now with NIL, they just get them now.
So when you look at this weekend, I was telling Tommy yesterday, I'm pretty emphatic on the idea of Duke's going to advance and Florida's going to advance. I just don't think Auburn can win this game without a healthy Janai Broom. Florida's already beaten them once this season. Get a rematch.
So bet heavy on Auburn and Houston.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. And then on the other side, Houston doesn't have an offense to compete with Duke. I think Duke has a good enough defensively, and they'll have way more offense than the Cougars. Kind of where are you feeling heading into this game come Saturday night, Bruce?
Obviously, my team laid a major egg against Houston. I think Houston had a lot to do with that. Houston's weird. They're really getting ahead of the snake. They're very balanced with their scoring. Everybody can shoot threes. They get in your face on defense. I probably have a little pause on just anointing Duke because of what I saw and what I've seen Houston do consistently throughout the year. They're well coached and they're veterans. They play gritty basketball, and I think Duke's going to have its hands full. On the other side, even with a healthy Broom, I just think Florida they've developed so well this year. It's a far cry from the team that lost by 20 at Thompson Bowling when Tennessee didn't have Ziegler. It's still hard to believe that happened midway through the season, but Florida's clicking, man, and I have a hard time seeing anybody beating them right now. They not only are they good, they're finding ways to win these close games, which you have to do.
All right, that's our opening drive. It's brought to you by the Fence Man. 782-3936 is the number for the Fence Man. Anything you need involving powered automatic gates, anything you need in design of fence work, if you got a government job, industrial job, commercial job, or it's the fence around your home and you just need a wood privacy or chain link fence. No job's too big or small, but seriously, when it comes to controlled access, whether it's walk-through gates, drive-through gates, things you need cards or codes for, they can do all of that for you. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. I guess, I don't know if it's our final basketball one. I guess it would be because we're at the Final Four. But, Bruce, we got, I guess, one more look here at the SEC and our Pradco Pyramid of Power.
One more look.
Who are the best basketball teams in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
I didn't know if y'all were going to do one today or not. I was kind of curious since you got.
What did you think we were going? We stayed up late last night to do our homework. Yeah.
There's only 2 SEC teams in, so I figured that this would be this would not happen.
Which one goes first? Which one goes second? What about the other teams?
Go ahead and rank them then, big dog.
All right. I got Florida number one. I think that's, for me, an easy call. SEC tournament champion in the Final Four. I got them edging out Auburn. I got Florida at the top of the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Totally agreed. Florida number one, Auburn number two.
Yep.
And there's a little bit of distance between them two and everybody else right now.
Particularly if Broom's not 100%. I can't believe they won't find a way to get him the minutes, but how effective he is going to be interesting in this game on Saturday. I don't know if it's not a good question mark, but maybe it's a convenient storyline for Bruce Pearl this week. I don't think Todd Golden's going to prepare any different. You prepare as though he's going to play, but obviously that's the big question mark looming over Auburn for Saturday.
Well, I'm sure they're going to talk about it more, but this is part of the Bruce Pearl coaching tree, Todd Golden. So, not only has Bruce Pearl done it everywhere he's been winning, now you're starting to see some of his offspring come out and do it too. So it's an all Bruce Pearl semifinal. One way or the other, he's going to have a stamp on the championship game.
Help me on this. He was hired as the director of basketball ops when he got to Auburn. Talking about Golden, is that right?
Yes,
okay,
that's correct.
Yep.
Yeah, and obviously he's putting his stamp. maybe this next wave of coaches that's coming on. All right, Florida 1, Auburn 2. We agree there. I've got Alabama at number 3 this week. Obviously, Duke handled them, pretty easily, but I think they deserve the 3rd spot. I got Alabama at number 3.
I'm going to do the Tommy thing. I'm going to put a tie on Tennessee and Alabama. Right. Alabama doesn't play defense. Tennessee doesn't play offense. If you put that team together, that might be the best team in the country. You can't do that. But Tennessee won the head-to-head, did beat Alabama, so we'll go with a tie for 3rd.
Fair enough. I went with Tennessee at 4, so fair enough there. I guess the recency of watching, and I felt for you when, particularly in that first half, when you had to feel like all hope was lost. And Tennessee made a mild second half resurgence in the game against Houston, but I hate to pick at the scab here, but what was it, 14 or 15 first half points? Houston's defense is really good, and I'm with you. I'm not so quick to bury Houston in that Duke game. Duke may win it, but
just like yesterday. I hope I'm wrong. I want Jim Nance's alma mater to take home the thing. You got hometown kids. I
still think you're giving Houston's defense enough credit, and that was a brutal first 20 minutes, I'm sure, for you, Bruce.
It's brutal, and obviously YM teaches at the U of A, and she's a big U of A fan. She feels worse than I do because Arkansas should have won that game, and Arkansas fans everywhere they know they should have been in the Elite Eight. Tennessee, they had no business in the Final Four with that matchup. They got obliterated. So Cole and I were resigned to it at halftime. It was over. I think Arkansas fans are still struggling because they know they should have been in the Elite Eight. So getting blown out in some ways is easier to handle than that close loss.
There's some truth in that. All right, I got Alabama followed by Tennessee. You've got Alabama and Tennessee tied. I'm going to do the Bruce thing at number 5. I'm going to put my Razorbacks there. I'm going to homer up. I'm going to put Arkansas at number 5. They made the end of season surge. They put themselves in the second weekend, which is more than you can say for the other teams in consideration. And they should have been in the Elite Eight. I don't know if they'd have gone beyond that, but I've got the Arkansas Razorbacks at number 5.
No, I'm with you on form. You think you lost on a last-second 3 from Padula in the SEC tournament. Brazil missed a couple of free throws there. It would have given you the lead. So, you lost that one due to unfortunate circumstances, and then just had a late game crumble again. Adu at the free throw line. You had at least a 4-point lead. So, you got to think Arkansas might have been playing better than Tennessee and Alabama at the end of the year, even though they made the Elite Eight and Arkansas didn't. Arkansas really gelled and was giving people problems, and probably, no doubt, had the biggest upset of the tournament.
So I went Kentucky at 6. You can make a case for Ole Miss. I think that's kind of where, the discussion ends. But I went ahead and put Kentucky at number 6, the team that Tennessee finished off, which was really one of the brighter moments for me. Once Arkansas had lost, I was all in on whoever could beat Kentucky, and I'm glad it was Tennessee. So,
well, I'm going to flip. I'm going to go Ole Miss.
Right.
I was real impressed the way Chris Beard's team played in the tournament. Could have beaten Michigan State, and kind of like Tennessee got obliterated by Houston, Kentucky was never in the game against Tennessee. The game was over. There was never a run. There was never a chance. And I think the Vols were so focused on that game, maybe that hurt their preparation for Houston. But, I'm not going to put Kentucky in the top 6 just to hopefully give Kentucky fans some fodder.
Well, I put them in the top 6 so that I can mention that they lost again. So, and they didn't go any further than the Razorbacks. So it gave me more time to talk about their losing.
And
so
you can see that they're right below Arkansas.
Yeah, and I did make sure. Yeah, exactly. We're behind Arkansas. So I put Kentucky there purposely so I could mention, by the way, they lost and didn't go any further than the Razorbacks. So that was important to me.
Well, beating Kentucky was important to me. So, we've got a big customer in Kentucky, and they talk trash the first 2 games. And, I started sending messages with about 2 minutes left, and I hadn't heard from any of them.
Yeah.
So, I guess when I need an order, I'll call them. But I'm just going to
when I need an order.
Florida, Auburn, Bama, Tennessee, Arkansas, and then either Kentucky or Ole Miss tied. We get it right or we get it wrong?
I would put Tennessee above Alabama. I know Bruce had them tied there, but then I would put Ole Miss, just the way that they battled with Michigan State down the stretch. Kentucky got drilled in their final game of the season, so That's kind of where my mind was with y'all's rankings. But yeah, Florida's clearly number one. I think they're going to go on to win. Hopefully the national champion. If Duke wins, I'd rather Florida beat them, even though that sounds non-conventional because I'm not rooting for the SEC, but I hate Duke. So hopefully Florida gets it done on Monday night.
Well, Ty, I was jealous of you. You know, you got to go to the first and second round and the Sweet 16. And I remember my first year out of college in 89 and 90, I got to cover the Razorbacks and got on that magical ride to Denver. And, you know, if you're a basketball fan, it's an amazing run. It's an amazing adventure getting to advance with the team. It's a life experience of a lifetime.
Hey, real quick, got about 20 seconds here. Crappie fishing, it's coming on right now. Better have that Bobby Garland baby shad.
Well, you better have baby shads, but Bruce is bass fishing right now. It's all about the young dinger, wacky rig it, took that 5-inch dinger, Elder's Magic, Mardi Gras right in the middle, and pitch it up around wood on the bank, and there's probably going to be a big old bass sitting there. I'm down on Broken Bow for the next month, and we're catching them.
All right. LureNet.com or your favorite tackle stores everywhere. Bruce, hope you catch a big one. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. See y'all.
All right, we got our hog update coming up next.
Are there just no honest strippers in this world anymore?
I hate strip clubs.
You are our moral compass.
This is the Morning Rush.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Bet Saracen, Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Does that mean I'm an old fart?
This is the Morning Rush.
Hey, Ty Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials. You know Thursday is my personal favorite night. We're here every Thursday. Bucket special, hard to beat.
You got to love the bucket special. I mean, you come in, you can get 5 domestic bottles in a bucket for $15, and then you get to hang out at Papa's. It's a great deal.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
I'm ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
It's that crazy time of year again, and I'm not talking about Cinderella teams and busted brackets. I'm talking about your ex making your spring break plans with your kids a mess again. Do you feel double teamed by your ex in your court order? Call me, Jackie Mock, from Off the Bench, and let's see if we can modify that order so your time with your kids can be a slam dunk. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
You got 3 lemons.
What my baby wants, my baby gets. You know that.
Oh, I wanted 12. Baby wanted 12.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
107 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, woo big Suey. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Benintendi puts a charge into this one. Right field. Bader looking up. Get out. Benintendi. 100th career home run.
Congrats to the former Golden Spikes winner at Arkansas, Andrew Benintendi, who hit his 100th home run yesterday for the Chicago White Sox. Pretty big accomplishment for the former Razorback, who had a lot of success back in 2015. Cool to see him get to that point, Tommy.
Yeah, and have you plugged into Major League Baseball at all?
That's not my thing.
You sat down and watched an inning?
It's not my thing.
A game?
No.
Kept up with the score?
I see highlights of Pro Hogs, and I know they're relevant to people that are listening, like Isaiah making 31 last night. Like, I watched that.
Yeah.
Because the Thunder.
I'm like you. I mean, I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm the same way. I have not plugged into Major League Baseball at all. And I used to watch a lot of big league ball, but last 20 years, it's been all the Razorbacks take up all your baseball time. So, be good to hear that on Benintendi, but I have not gotten plugged in at all. So I'm glad you give us those little nuggets to kind of, remind me at least, hey, the big leagues are already playing, and they've been playing for, more than a week now.
They also make it really hard to watch these games.
Yes, they do, and that's been one of my beefs with those guys.
Well done.
So.
The baseball is the hardest sport of anyone to watch. I'm supposedly a Kansas City Royals fan. They're 2-2 right now. St. Louis Cardinals are 3-1, so they're off to a solid 4-game start at the beginning of their season. Big basketball news for Arkansas. Big Z is hitting the portal.
Those moments we need to stay together. We need to be a team. Now, everybody doing their own. Oh, my bad.
8 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 blocks this season. Razorbacks have lost Kashmir Chavis, Melo Sanchez, and now Big Z is really the first notable guy that you've lost on the roster for this upcoming year. Got a text on the text earlier from Ty, not me, but another Ty, saying he just couldn't bang with some of the bigger bigs in the Southeastern Conference. And when he was most potent for Arkansas is when he was knocking down his shot. Unfortunately for him, Tommy, a good chunk of the games down the stretch, he just couldn't find it from deep, and he's just not as important as it is impactful if he's not making shots for you.
He was an impact player on getting rebounds, and but his 3-point game wasn't there though. He wasn't able to score, and in the end, you got to have a guy that it's not just enough to rebound. You got to put points on the board, and his minutes didn't produce enough points too often.
All right, last thing here. Arkansas baseball back in action tonight, not in Bob Walker Stadium, but in North Little Rock, again in Dickey Stevens Park. They'll take on Grambling at 6 o'clock. You've got the number 2 baseball team in the country. Phil's going to have it right here for you on radio. It's also going to be on SEC Network Plus. All right, that is your Hog update on this Tuesday afternoon. Really the last nice Tuesday morning. Really the last nice Tuesday that you'll have this week, and then the rest of the days are not going to be nice.
How many more Tuesdays are we going to have?
Last couple days, the last nice day that you'll have this week, and then the rest of the days are going to be.
We're going to get like a foot of rain.
It's not
quite a foot, but
it was flood. I'm going to mow my lawn today.
Well, you better, because we're going to get.
I won't be able to. I was going to say I won't be able to mow it the rest of the day.
Mine's not quite ready to mow yet, but 6 to 10 inches of rain forecasted starting tomorrow through Saturday/Sunday, sometime this weekend. So it's not all coming at once, but there's going to be a lot of rain over about a 3-4 day window.
But it is coming. All right, that is again your Hog Update, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
So if you're getting ready to mow your lawn like I am, got the blower, got the weed eater, got the mower all set out, and I'm excited about later today. We welcome our buddy Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources. Larry, do you mow your lawn, or do you pay someone to do it? Be honest.
I pay somebody to do it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Tommy's the same
American way.
When I start making when I start making the money that you guys make, maybe I'll pay someone to mow my lawn and
it's
everything.
cheaper for someone else to mow it, Ty. By the time
it really is. Just hire them to mow it and work some extra hours.
Yeah, I mean, by the time you buy a mower, keep it maintained, weed eaters, blowers, all that, you can pay somebody to do it.
Yeah, I guess, but I just like being a man. I guess in that situation.
Larry, did you hear what he said about us?
Wow.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of manly qualities, but mowing my own yard is one of them. So I think that's
you hang on to that.
Yeah, I got to hang on to something. Larry, it's first of the month. I know you need some trades at Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi.
Man, we do. We just had a terrific month at both stores last month, and thank you to everybody who did business with us. We appreciate it so much. And we're starting this month with a good inventory, but we're going to need cars all month long. And so we're starting our first ever Rath Ride Replacement Sale. It's hard to say, but it's easy to take advantage of. You can come on in, get up to $3,750 extra for your trade right now. We desperately need your trade-in. And, even if you have a car you're selling, or maybe you're trading it somewhere else and you'd like a free second opinion, bring that car in for us to take a look at it. We can maybe help you put a little money in your pocket. You can leave out here with a check. We make it fast and easy to buy your car, as well as to trade for your car. We got a great selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles, and we've been gathering them up, getting them ready. You can't buy a better used car. They've got warranty on them. Takes all the risk out of buying a used car. And we've got a great selection of those at both locations. Plus, we're launching the 25 Outlander this month. We're really excited about some of the really nice changes that have been made in that 25 Mitsubishi Outlander. We got a good selection of those. So a lot of good things going on. We hope you'll come and see us. Help us get off to a fast start right now. Come on in and get some extra money for your trade. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check us out online, rathauto.com.
And first of the month, go by and see Larry in Fort Smith and David in Springdale. Larry, have a good rest of your week and good first of the month, man.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. Folks, come and see us.
All right, when we return, Morning Rush Daily Question, a beautiful Tuesday morning.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
And we'll see if a recording artist has any interest in Razorback Stadium naming rights here in the next couple months.
George Strait Stadium. This is the Morning Rush.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newk's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
John Calipari, the last Corleone.
This is the Morning Rush.
It's time for the Rath Rod Replacement Sale at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, bring in your old car and get $3,750 above appraised market value for your trade. Take advantage of over $20,000 in recent price reductions on our road-ready certified pre-owned inventory, inspected and reconditioned in our on-site Meineke Car Care Center and backed by a comprehensive warranty. It's the Rath Rod Replacement Sale all this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
Taco Bell's new caliente sauce made with red jalapenos is the spicy side of Cantina chicken. But does that mean everything has a spicy side? Like your cactus plant. It's like your other plants, but spicy. Or your coworker who says they hate everyone who works here, but you work here. Or when you say, I don't mean to be rude, but you do mean to be rude. But now you can feed your spicy side with Caliente Cantina chicken from Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
York. I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
What do you do today if like actual news breaks? Like you need to actually report something factual? Because just during the break, it being April Fool's Day, I read Cal's going to Texas, which, by the way, they've hired a coach. Arkansas State is putting in a $5 million ice rink in their basketball arena and starting a hockey program. I mean, you can't. There is nothing on social media you can. There's one clever says top 10 ways to not be fooled on April Fool's Day, and it has the click to see more. Of course, you can't click on it. That's a pretty clever one, I thought. But you got to be really careful today. I mean, like really careful because there's some pranksters out there. But it's April Fool's Day, so guard up. What do we do if because it's portal season? What if
you don't want to get
April Fool?
Yeah,
you don't want to get fooled.
Heads up!
I got
Heads up.
I got fooled this morning by a certain restaurant that I thought was coming to town. And
the In-N-Out Burger deal.
Yeah,
I saw that. Hey, In-N-Out Burgers bought a piece of land, and then you read the story. It's going to be a 3-story restaurant. It's going to be, you're like, come on now,
Thank God I'm good looking and I have a good personality because I am as dumb as a box of rocks sometimes. It is unbelievable. I measure myself, and I don't consider 1, 2, 3, 4. My 4 friend groups, 2 from college, 2 from Fort Smith, intelligent for the most part. But I am at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to intelligence of those said groups. And again, thank goodness that I'm not in a job field that requires me to be smart in any way, shape, or form. But yes, it is a scary thing when you pull up. Now, the good thing is this is not an April Fool's joke. Sydney Sweeney is actually single now.
Biggest misconception about me is that I am a dumb blonde with big tits. I'm naturally brunette.
Apparently, Colin, did you not want to bleep that out?
No, I didn't know.
I apologize.
No one's ever given me the list of words, so I don't know.
But that is not an April Fool's joke, Tommy. She's actually single. Apparently, she's not getting married to her fiance, and that thing has been
your opening.
That thing has been called off. So that is not an April Fool's joke. Tiger Woods is not playing in the Masters. I know he put out something funny about that. Let's see what else. What else have you seen today? That is,
I saw where one restaurant was going to have a new ice cream chocolate fudge cheeseburger, which looked like the grossest thing ever. But it was going to be their cheeseburger topped with ice cream and chocolate fudge, and ooh, that was their new announcement today. So yeah, it's just all kinds of crazy. I thought the one, I guess you could catch someone off guard that hadn't followed that Cal was leaving for Texas.
You didn't know that Sean Miller had already, and it was kind of a bum thing. You were out of town all week, and the whole idea was, well, Tommy Kraft just got hired at Texas, because if you haven't seen a picture of Sean Miller, do you think you look more like Sean or Archie?
I don't know. I'll leave that for someone else to decide.
You do look like one of them. I think we've talked about help me on this. I just lost the word. What is our lookalike? Doppelganger.
Yeah.
That is yours. I don't know what mine is, but like you said, I don't know what the proper way to avoid being
April Fools,
because it's difficult on a day like this. And I've always tried in the years we've been doing the show, I've always tried to conjure up something, and I'm so scared of starting a Razorback fan frenzy by saying something that's simply not true, that I just have avoided, like, just coming up with something that's involving Razorback athletics.
You think you could actually pull that off?
Well,
you think you could? You think your broadcast skills, you could sell that to the audience and they'd believe that?
I could sell anything. I could sell.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What's the not iced igloo man? Is that what they say?
Ice to an Eskimo.
Ice to an Eskimo. I could sell anything.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
To your point, I don't know the correct answer for our Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. I really
Heads
don't know.
up. That's all I'm going to say. It's April Fool's Day, and it's my mother-in-law's birthday today. So happy birthday, Pearl Lucas.
On social media, you used to be able to disseminate who was a factual account and who was not.
Big word, disseminate.
Even the factual accounts are putting out.
Now you can, because I can say that I'm verified and be, just as reliable as anybody.
Don't you
even
have
though
to pay
I'm not.
don't you pay to be verified?
You
now?
do, and I did until I realized it was a waste of $8.
Yeah.
Well, we as a company pay for our social media account to be verified because there's
but we pay for it back with our content.
Yes, and there's certain things that we can do and we get out of that payment. But yeah, individually I don't, and I love X is my favorite social media app, but it's not one that I'm going to pay for. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. How do you avoid being tricked on April Fool's Day? Tell you what's not a trick is that Cart Pass Social is the #1 indoor golf destination in all of Arkansas. They've got their Masters Invitational going on where you can play Augusta National each and every week and stack up your scores against some of the better golfers in Northwest Arkansas. It's a BYB establishment. Stop in. You can bring your own food. You can bring your own beer, seltzers, whatever the case. You can bring it in. 122 Grant Place in Lowell, 479-487-3622. Give Nate and Christian a call, or you can book online to secure a reservation today. Corporate events, birthday parties, just hanging out with friends and family. You can do it all at Cart Pass Social.
Probably one of the best all-time April Fool's jokes. Golf Digest. I'm going back to I was probably 10 or 12 years old.
Okay.
Had an article that Augusta National, after all the years of secrecy, had decided to have a month of the year they were going to open it to public play. Where the month, because they didn't want to be shrouded in secrecy. And this was this was like in the 80s. When they didn't even allow the front nine to be put on television still. And I'm reading this article and I'm like, wow, so I'm telling Wayne Meeks, who was the golf pro at Fiena Hills, about this. And he goes, "You're crazy. That's not right." He goes, I said, "It's in Golf Digest, pro." He said, "Bring that to me." So I brought it to him. He reads the whole article and then he looks up and it's dated April 1st, April 1, 1987 or whatever it was. And we're like, oh, that was my first introduction to really getting fooled. I thought, well, hey, we're going to get to go play Augusta National. So wrong.
What would you pay to actually go play there? Which the Masters is next weekend, or is it in 2 weekends?
Masters week starts next week.
Next week. Okay. Jim Nance and you
got
see
the Final Four, and then the championship game, and that Monday really starts Augusta.
Jim Nance is going on an 11-year retirement tour. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's talked about this for a long time. He wanted to do the 100th Masters and the 100th anniversary. So, and that's within his reach.
It's his 51st Masters. So
not about his 51st. He wanted to be there for the 100th.
Yeah. So it almost timed up where it was his 50th, which would have been pretty cool if it was 50, 100, but slightly over it at 50.
It nearly worked out with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
If they hadn't had a tournament that year, it would have been his 50th and its 100th, I guess.
This is not an April Fool's joke because Coastal Carolina put this out yesterday, but for those that haven't seen it, and Colton, I saw you saw this as well. Coastal Carolina announced that anyone that comes to their home game will have access to free food, hot dog, nachos, popcorn, water, and all the soda you want.
What's up, boss? Hey, how's it going? Good. What's the damage? Free. Well, what about for this? Free as well. Free. All of it free. You want some nachos? Yeah. Free too. All free.
The catch, Tommy, is you can get 4 items per visit, but you can come up there as many times as you want. So the Chanticleer is offering, again, free hot dogs, free nachos, popcorn, water, and soda for the fans in attendance. Now, you always point out
just for one game or just any game?
Well, the games. If you come to a home game.
Just begging people to come. That doesn't reek of desperation at all.
They've had a good football program. I think Grayson McCall is the kid that was there that transferred to North Carolina State, and their baseball team won.
Yeah, they've had. This seems awfully Are you sure this wasn't put out today?
It was put out yesterday. Colton, was it not?
Sure they didn't
Verify.
jump the gun
Put out
on this?
yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, verify.
Their program's too good for that.
Verify this. Well, they're again trying to get people to come to the games, and you're making it more of a I don't know if you want to say like a suite style type, because not all the seats in the house are suite, but if you do have a ticket, that gives you access to
all-inclusive ticket.
Yeah, I don't know how quality. Tommy, the hot dogs, nachos, and popcorns. It's probably made in quite bulk, so it's probably not that good.
It's those dollar dog dogs where they're a little short and a little skinnier than a typical dog. I'm sure that's how it is.
Still, I think that's a pretty cool thing.
I think it's cool too, because it's like $90 to go to a concession stand at any other stadium to get something for yourself and for your family. It's a big money saver.
How many nachos and hot dogs can you eat though in 9 innings? There'll be some that'll the freeloaders. I mean, this is a freeloaders paradise.
4 quarters. This is a football thing.
Oh, I thought you said it's baseball. Oh, well,
No.
we were talking about their baseball. That's what we were doing.
Mm-hmm. No, this is a
okay.
This
in
is
4 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think we could do some damage.
I
I don't know if it cuts off. I don't know if it's like the alcohol
Hey, when your
rule.
concessions are better than your football, you got a problem.
Yeah,
You said it was hot dog, pizza, nachos.
It's hot dogs, nachos, popcorn, water, and soda.
So you can just have a hot dog in one quarter, nachos in another, popcorn in another, and then mix in a soda and the water.
You get up to 4 items per visit on the setup. Maybe
all right.
The U of A.
Guess we're headed for a Coastal Carolina game.
If the U of A's listening, that'll be something on that setup. One of the things I jotted down for today, they announced when you were gone, Remy Cofield is officially his
the worst
title.
kept secret ever.
Yeah, I mean Rothstein put it out. Not to say his word is gold, but a lot of times when he puts something out, it's pretty accurate.
No one refuted it.
Yeah, and I will say, like, I'm pretty sure Rothstein put out that Boogie Flan was out for the year, and he ended up coming back. So I mean, sometimes reports can be inaccurate or close to accurate, but in that case, I don't think that one was. One of the questions I had jotted down is like, how does Remy Cofield divvy out the money? And the money, I mean, is Arkansas going to significantly put an astronomical amount into just football and basketball, and the other programs have to fend for themselves with the new trend?
You better be putting 2/3 to 3/4 in your football program, or you're not going to be competitive.
Mm-hmm. I just think about I saw this. I saw Lamont Paris, South Carolina's head basketball coach, go on Sirius yesterday, and he said that Colin Murray Boyles was offered $2.5 million by another SEC institution to leave South Carolina. So I'm just thinking about the money that's going to be invested. Of course, it's going to be in football, but basketball. I mean, you're getting up there with the amount of spending you have.
If the number, and I've been told 22 to 25 million, let's just say it's 25, you better be putting 15 of that in football. Just my opinion. That's what you.
So if Arkansas spending over 10 in basketball, which apparently they are.
Yeah, but that's not coming out of the rev share. That's private funding.
So you're going to drop it once they.
Well, you going to quit collecting the private share, the private. Of course, you're going to keep getting money from the Tysons and the Stevens as long as they're willing to give it. Hey, no fooling, the Inn at the Mill is the place to stay in Northwest Arkansas if you're coming up for a baseball weekend or just got plans to be there for work or business. The Inn at the Mill is where we love to stay. 479-443-1800. Oversized suites, great breakfast to start the day, and conveniently located just off the Johnson exit. That's exit 69 off I-49. 479-443-1800 or online at inatthemill.com.
All right, when we return, we'll chat with Tom Murphy on the other side.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because our Kansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today. and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick 'em, you win 'em.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
This is the Morning Rush.
It's time for the Wrath Rod Replacement Sale at Wrath Auto Resources. Right now, bring in your old car and get up to $3,750 above the appraised market value for your trade. Take advantage of over $20,000 in recent price reductions on our road-ready certified pre-owned inventory, inspected and reconditioned in our on-site Meineke Car Care Center and backed by comprehensive warranty. It's the Wrath Rod Replacement Sale all this month at Wrath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, wrathautofortsmith.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson, I'm with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I know you're a wizard here at First Financial Mortgage, but you do okay with the sticks as well.
Yeah, I've been playing golf since I was 5. I've been in the golf game for a long time.
Question is, what are you better at, golf or lending?
I have to say that equally both. I've used golf in my career to kind of help propel it as well. I used to prepare hard with golf. I do the same thing in work. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Decisions aren't hard when no matter what you choose, you win. Like with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Choose from the $5 classic box with iconic favorites like a beefy 5-layer burrito, the $7 Supreme box with the chicken chalupa supreme and more, or find new obsessions in the $9 Discovery box. Get yours at Taco Bell today. Our participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks exclude freezes. Tax extra.
Ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Picture it. It's a day like any other. You're stuck in traffic on Rogers Avenue during rush hour. You're just ready to get home and relax with your family. And then, just like that, your life can change in an instant. And you're going to need a lawyer to make it right. I'm Phil Votaw with Phil Votaw & Associates. If this happens to you, call me, 479-434-6200, or online at votawlaw.com. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The paint store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine, a breezy day, a high this afternoon in the low to mid 70s. Now we're expecting to see a couple of days of rainfall that could be moderate to heavy, so we could increase the potential for flooding. Overnight lows tonight will drop down in the low to mid 60s with rain on the increase. Occasional showers and thunderstorms mid 70s Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
7'2" forward, pro Croatian, Vladimir Ibiša.
So everybody wants to know about Big Z.
Trying to feed a Visich on the right wing. Big Z gathers it in, buries the three in the corner. Three-pointer from Big Z, and he just got another one. The sixth three-pointer for Zvonimir Visich.
Those moments we need to stay together, we need to be a team. Now, everybody doing their own. Oh, my bad.
Zvonimir with a block on one end. He's going to launch a three on the other. It's good, and Arkansas's within three.
What about the crowd today?
Visich in the corner, step back. He just drained another one. Are you kidding me?
I really like it here. I feel accepted here, like I'm home. People are really nice here also.
This is the Morning Rush.
Croatia to Lexington to Fayetteville. Now where's he going next? Zvonimir Visich, as of yesterday, has entered the transfer portal. Don't know his next pit stop in his college career, but it doesn't look like it will be in Fayetteville. Welcome in to the Mother Russia version of the Morning Rush this morning. Andrew texted in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline saying, Tommy, back to your April Fool's question. April Fool's Day 2012, 13 years ago today, has caused me so much PTSD that I can hardly get on social media. I'll never forget that day. Thought the Petrino story was a joke. It was not. That is, again, the biggest April Fool's story when it comes to Arkansas athletics. But
that wasn't an April Fool's story.
That is the Golf Digest one. Is that one's pretty good. That would have gotten me too. I would have been so excited to play.
I was like 10 or 12 at the time. But hey, we're brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group, your number one provider for top quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. Whether you're working on a small residential project or a large commercial scale project, they can help you with that. APAC, helps pave and build the highways around our area. You see their trucks and their vehicles and their personnel all the time. So if you also need full-service construction services, they can do that for you as well. 479-587-3300. 587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
So your roster right now is comprised with guys that, again, haven't announced what they're doing next. Trevin Brazil, Deuce Thero, DJ Wagner, Carter Knox, Boogie Flynn, Billy Richmond, and Jaden Caroletta. Then you've got guys coming in like Kareem Ratal, Darius Acuff, Malik Thomas, and Isaiah Sealy, and 4 open spots remain after Chavis, Sanchez, and Big Z have entered the transfer portal. One of the guys that you're after right now, Cal said he's kind of after one freshman left, is Nate Ament. And here's what a current Arkansas signee, Malik Thomas, who's playing in the game tonight, McDonald's All-American game at 8 o'clock, said about his pitch to get Nate to campus.
My pitch to Nate has just been, if you want to come play with winners, and play with players that's really going to be for you. Myself, I'm not just telling him to come to Arkansas just because we want another fast or just because we want another very good player. Like, I'm telling him to come to Arkansas just because we feel he could really be an asset for our team. With us two, we already said we could win a natty without nobody else. So imagine we get another high caliber player like that, then sky's the limit for us. So me just being in his ear telling us, like, we want to win. We're not going to be selfish with the ball. Everybody going to eat if you come play with us. So that's really been my pitch down.
And again,
he's a little short on confidence.
Yeah, Malik is a little bit. Him and Darius Acuff against.
I like that.
Suiting up against each other tonight in the McDonald's All-American game. And it sounds like that Nate Ament's coming down. He was going to commit tonight, but now he's not. Apparently, it's going to come down to Duke and Arkansas. The Boozer twins are also trying to get him to Duke, which is again, kind of the situation you are now, that there'll be a lot of players from here on out. As long as Cal's your head coach, you're probably going to battle Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, and some of these other blue blood schools in college basketball.
All right, Tom Murphy coming up in a minute. I want to remind you it's Dollar Tacos. There's no fooling today on that Taco Tuesday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. You can stop in today for those for lunch or dinner all day long, Joe's Grill and Cantina. Don't forget they got Throwback Thursdays as well. They'll have a special Cuco's platter, kind of their origins, the roots of it, that will be on special on Thursday as well. So get some of those flavors that started it all at Joe's Grill and Cantina on Throwback Thursdays. It's Taco Tuesday, Dollar Tacos, all day today at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
We got something called beef, B-E-E-F.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Once again, beef.
And our friend Tom Murphy now joins us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Tom, that's what Arkansas is looking for right now. Beef. Jonas Adu, he's exhausted his eligibility in college basketball. Big Z's in the portal. I guess first and foremost, Cal's going after some guys that can help him in the front court.
Yeah, he is. And as we just heard in that clip, everybody's going to eat. So, we'll see what transpires with that. But if you're a fan these days, I mean, you can sit around and wait for things, but I don't get too worked up over it, man. People are going to do what they're going to do, and, the coaches are getting after it. So we'll see what the roster looks like when it's all said and done.
I know that's a phrase that Cal's used with that 2012 team that had Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. I want to say Deron Lamb was on that team and others. They had, I believe, 6 guys drafted. So, Tom, that I know that's what he's talked to freshmen and other high-profile transfers before is like, guys, if we go on a run, you guys are all have a chance to get drafted. And I would guess that's going to be a pitch here in the coming days and weeks when it comes to guys that could potentially make their way to Fayetteville.
No question about that. I mean, he's got a variety of ways he can appeal to recruits now. I mean, look at last year's team. We did what we could to build the roster. We made maybe a couple of mistakes, and then we had some guys get injured and really had to scrap, and put things together, and we still made a run to the Sweet 16. And quite honestly, should have made a run to the Elite 8.
Yeah. Tom Murphy with us, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. I think the first thing you got to do is figure out how many that are on this roster come back, and then you got 3 of the high school signees. So how many in the portal do you need to go get? And I guess probably the bigger threat to the existing roster leaving for the transfer portal is probably a bigger issue with the NBA draft and how many are going to test the waters of professional basketball first.
Yeah, I would think so. There's a lot left in the calculus for John Calipari and staff. Did Boogie Flan show enough that he can be taken? I do not know that. I'm looking at Carter Knox, I do Thero. I see guys that need to stay in school, but that's just me. It's hard to evaluate what a guy's game is going to look like on the next level when you're in my shoes. I don't get paid to evaluate for the NBA, but and also, what is a kid thinking? What did he think beforehand? Who's in his ear? All kind of issues come into play on this. But yeah, determining who is not going to go to the NBA and is going to return is always a big deal.
You got a couple other things going on. You got the scholarship expansion out to 15. I don't know that that's as big a deal as some other things that are going on in the game, but that is one thing that when you start doing the calculus on the roster, you got 15 spots. I think the bigger thing is, figuring out 7 or 8 no longer works. Heard Tom Izzo talking about this prior to their Elite 8 game with Auburn, and you can keep 10 or 12 happier by giving them the minutes. Question is, are there enough players to go around to all the top shelf schools to play at an elite level, Tom, and go 12 deep anymore?
Yeah, that is a great question. And we found out with Arkansas that having 8 or 9 guys that you can really play, I mean, they got to the Sweet 16, but it didn't work out so well in the middle of the season. So I think they want to be deeper. I do not know how the 15 scholarships is going to play into that, but surely between revenue sharing, which is very likely to take place, and the added scholarships, Arkansas should not run into the same type of depth issue they did this season.
Yeah, and I heard Izzo speak on this. I'd love to hear what Cal's thoughts would be, and maybe you got to go through it to figure it out. But having 12 guys that can play keeps the legs fresher, limits injuries. Now, Michigan State's not playing in the Final Four, so that wasn't the golden ticket or the thing. But it does make sense that if you can go deeper in your bench, your legs should be in better shape and probably a little less injury riddled like Arkansas was this year. If you could put less stress on guys throughout the course of 30 games.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And honestly, once a dude came back fully and all that, and then Thero and Flan go down, they're lucky that they didn't have any further problems.
Yeah, it could have been worse. Tom, last thing before we let you go, baseball back in action tonight. Huge series win against Vanderbilt. First time that you swept those guys since I think it was '94. First time you beat them in Nashville, I think in 15 years. Just kind of your assessment of the number 2 baseball team in the country right now.
It's pretty amazing what they're doing with their hitting, and trailing in games, and then not getting panicked about it. And the way they routed in the 8th inning yesterday was amazing. They'll be playing Grambling tonight for the second time this season. Already beat them 14-3, but they are coming off their only midweek loss of the season so far. 14-13 game against Missouri State. So looks like they're going to go with Tate McGuire, the right-handed pitcher, rather than Colin Fisher, the big tuna. Hopefully got enough pitching to get through tonight. And depending on the direction of the wind, that place can be a big cavern, hard to hit it out of there, hard to score a run. So we'll see. And then obviously a big weekend series. And looks like weather could play a big role in the weekend against Missouri coming up.
Yeah. You feeling up to one more question?
Yeah, I can do it, man.
Let's talk football real quick because they're back at it for spring football. And I know that's, been a big part of your focus. Big week coming up. I know some scrimmages. They got basically 3 weeks left for spring football. What will be accomplished this week as they get back off of spring break?
Well, just refining. The Petrino system is sophisticated, and you don't just run it out there and in 2 weeks you're ready to go. So continuing to rep the system for these new receivers, all these new receivers, and these new O-linemen, getting more on the same page with Taylor Green, because it's important, man. You got to come out of spring feeling confident with running this offense. And you're right. Got a scrimmage coming up on Saturday, and then 2 more weeks, and we'll be at the red-white game.
That's coming up. Tom, we'll leave it there, man. Appreciate your time this morning, buddy.
Appreciate it, guys. Always enjoyed being with you.
That's our buddy Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council.
Hey, on a cattle ranch, calves aren't only raised by their mothers, they're raised by a community of farmers, ranchers, and veterinarians committed to giving them the healthiest, most comfortable life possible. Because for cattle farmers, ranchers, and the moms of those baby calves, animal welfare is the top priority. Together, we bring more beef. It's What's for Dinner. This is brought to you by the Beef Farmers and Ranchers of Arkansas and courtesy of beef. It's whatsfordinner.com.
Tom said something there about Carter Knox and like that he's not getting paid to initially, whether it's him, Adu, Boogie Flannan, and everything else. You had an interesting stat, and I say you, Colton, but Hogstats had an interesting stat talking about Carter and really his growth throughout the season, especially on the back end.
Yeah, God, no, not me. It's Hogstats. He's the GOAT. So when I say these names right here as Razorback fans, what do y'all think? Todd Day, Joe Johnson, Ronnie Brewer, Patrick Beverly, Marshawn Powell, Bobby Portis, and Moses Moody, and Anthony Black.
Great players.
Great players, right?
Right.
So Carter Knox is amongst that group. He finished as the 9th player in Razorback history to reach 300 points, 100 rebounds, 30 assists, 20 steals, and 10 blocks in a freshman season. Those were the other 8. It's a pretty good list.
Those other 8 did it in their freshman year?
Those other 8 did it in their freshman year. Pretty good list to be on. I would pay that man.
300 points. I mean, I don't know if he'll stick around long enough to get 1,000 points at Arkansas, but well on his way. So, well on his way. When you're mentioned with Todd Day, the all-time leading scorer on any list, and the rest of that, you're in pretty good company.
I think just the expectation nowadays is like you hope a guy is going to be there 2 years. If you get 3 or 4 years from a kid that's on campus, and that's, I feel like, going to be less of the norm, more the anomaly in today's age of college basketball.
We don't have any time to develop someone. If they're there 4 years, something went wrong.
Yeah. And
injury, or they weren't as good as you thought they were going to be.
And especially for a program like Arkansas, which one of Cal's reasons of being here is to help families to take that next step and get to the NBA. And part of that is that. Now, I mentioned to Tom about the front court of the Beef. I know that I've seen, whether it's that Hall kid, I think for UCF, the Monmouth guard, how do you say his name? Colton, that B. Bashir Jr. So they need some more shooting, and they need a bunch of front court players because, you don't have any beef right now. Like Trevin's your only, I guess, Adu right now. Trevin and Adu are your only post players. Like, you need to go get a bona fide center, and I know those are few and far between. And I guess Clay would compare him to like really good defensive linemen that are hard to get and come by in the transfer portal. But I would think that would be Cal's biggest ad right now for his basketball team, based on just the lack thereof.
Well, I think until you know the rest of the story with who's going to enter the NBA process and who's going to, I don't know, how many more do you expect to enter the portal? I mean, I expect some names to be thrown around with the NBA draft process. I don't know how many more I expect to leave Arkansas. I don't know how much greener the pastures could get financially. Now, you know, if you don't like the coaching staff, they don't feel like there's a role here for you. There's not minutes, but I think the guys that have been playing, the guys that, you know, we're talking about, you know, is there really a lot greener pastures out there?
Well, you through
you
the
got
list.
Z. I don't know how many more are going to be on that transfer list.
Just go through the list. You think Trevin stays or you think he leaves? He's got 1 year left.
I think he stays.
You think Adu leaves or goes to the draft?
They make, I mean, when I portal or NBA, I mean, is it take the portal out of the mix, I guess is what I'm saying. How many do you think would leave and go play college basketball elsewhere? You think Trevin would enter the portal?
You said take the portal
Well,
out of the mix,
that's what I'm trying to figure out. How many more is the portal still in the mix for anyone on this roster leaving? That's I guess what I'm trying to articulate, but not doing a very good job.
My thing I only thought was, other than Big Z, I thought the only other person that would potentially test the portal waters would be somebody that's coming in that may have extra players in their position. So yesterday I mentioned DJ Wagner. That would be somebody that I would watch out for. But in terms of people going to the NBA, I would say that your only prospects right now that have gotten serious looks from the league would be Adu Thero and Boogie Flan.
I think that the DJ Wagner dynamic is interesting because, I mean, he had to take on the starting point guard role after Boogie went out. I'm going to assume Boogie's going to move on to the NBA. I could be wrong about that. Maybe he comes back, but I would think with the guys coming in, that's not going to happen. So that would be someone to keep an eye on. But if you're Billy Richmond and you're Carter Knox and there's not really any wings that are currently on the roster, that's besides you two, I don't know why they would.
I don't see them going. But I can't see Trevin Brazil at this point going into the portal and playing elsewhere. Man, maybe I'm wrong.
He would just.
I don't think DJ Wagner, with the history with his dad and Cal and the whole ball of wax, I find that a little far fetched to think he'd play college basketball somewhere else. Now we don't know everything behind the scenes and the relationships and how things are working, but these guys are getting minutes, and so was Big Z. Big Z was starting. He's not going to be here.
But then the numbers, vastly dissipated down the stretch, and he didn't play at all at the tail end of the season relative to where he was as a factor at the beginning. So that it made sense from the minutes continuity standpoint and where it was versus where he is now. Now, involving the transfer portal, I wanted your thoughts on this. So Kevin Willard, who he had this to say earlier last week.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just be honest with you.
Well, he ends up going to Villanova. Do you understand why players are so more likely nowadays to hit the portal? Apparently, he zoomed his former Maryland players. He didn't even have the guts or the.
But we don't know.
Come on.
Getting the team back together and being able to do that, and then also be where you're supposed to be. I don't know that it's guts. It's probably convenience and scheduling.
But to me, what you just said
it's a bad look, though.
To me, what you just said is you got this team all the way to the Sweet 16, and they played their guts out for you to that point. At least you talk about timing and everything else. Make time. Do you not want to make time to talk face to face to your former team? This is why transfer.
It's not just the coach's time though, Ty. It's the players' time. You think they're not busy thinking about? In class, they're thinking about portal and opportunities.
I think this was a terrible look, and I think Villanova's frankly a better job than Maryland in
I'd agree.
The today's age of college basketball, even though the money might be more at a Big Ten school than would be a Big East school. But just from a brand standpoint, you think about some of the coaches at Villanova and Philadelphia relative to Maryland. I just don't, my mind doesn't go anywhere when I think Maryland basketball outside of Steve Blake and the little stint they had in the early 2000s. But
Steve Blake wanted to take the job. He tweeted that yesterday.
I saw that yesterday. I just think it's not just money. It's not just agents, but college kids have watched coaches do this for decades, and they're like, why can't we do it? So I completely understand why. No, but what I'm, again, reiterating, when you get mad at a kid for deciding to do elsewhere, I don't, and you from a coach standpoint, I think it's worse. Like, this to me is worse than a kid transferring to another school in that area, just in my opinion. I think it's just I think that's the like scum, like pond scum move for Willard to do that.
I agree with you, because then it makes the entire Sweet 16 experience for Maryland all about Kevin Willard and not about the Terrapins that had done such a great job with that, that group of 6 guys that had been one of the best, starting 5 plus their one bench player all season. It takes everything away from them when, the whole thing is just about where Kevin Willard's going to go. And Kevin Willard knew that and didn't care. I agree with you.
How does it take away the experience those players have?
Because they're not thinking anything at all about the Sweet 16. Like you said, Tommy, they're trying to figure out where they're going to go play basketball next. Their coach is gone. They can't enjoy the game, and they can't have their one shining moment.
Lives in the middle of the night. Just, I don't know why you're defending him in this situation.
I'm not defending him. I just don't know why y'all are outraged. I mean, this is not like the first time this has happened.
Let me put it. Would you be ticked off? Be honest. If I just up and come in the middle of the night, text you and said, "Hey, I'm going to this radio station."
It would be the right thing to handle. No, it would not be the right way to handle it. I'm not saying
you off.
I'm
right?
just not saying. I'm not. Nothing surprises me anymore.
And that's fair.
It's
just,
Bobby Petrino left the Falcons and put a note in the players' lockers.
But he's going to Arkansas, so it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, so things like this happen. We think that you stop and you have time. Trying to get the entire team back together in one room, and the coach is on his way out and trying to make arrangements to be at the new. We think it's just easy, but it's not easy to orchestrate all those pieces. Is it a bad look? I agree with you, but I mean, if someone's leaving your organization and someone you feel has turned their back on you, do you really want to meet with them in person anyway? Would that provide some kind of closure for those?
It's closure.
Oh God Almighty!
Jesse in Mountain Home wants to know if DQ leaving is an April Fool's joke. No, it is not. As of today, the Ruskin and Zach will be DQ-less for the worse. So, I think they would also tell you that exact same thing. That is not an April Fool's joke.
I don't think Willard leaving the way he did is good, but I'm not outraged by it. I mean, I don't need a pound of flesh because he had a Zoom meeting rather than an in-person meeting. I think we also don't understand how used to kids are these days of doing everything via FaceTime. May not be Zoom, but I mean,
it's all
that's
COVID.
All my kids,
it's all COVID, man.
That's all my kids do is FaceTime their friends.
All COVID, yeah. And there's a lot of I don't know.
So I think they're used to communicating that way. I don't think that's offensive to someone in that age group.
I don't know if you've seen this. So a lot of interviews nowadays are just via Zoom or via just over the phone or whatever. But they're still do in-person interviews for media and various things. There was a guy. I know Phil's seen this. I think his name's Mike Cabola that covers the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tommy, he fell asleep while Mike Tomlin was doing his media pit thing. So like he's got his phone or he's got his mic, and while Tomlin is talking, he literally fell asleep. And so there's all these pictures out here of this guy like just with Tomlin or whatever,
burning the candle at both ends.
I know that. Hey, listen, I know that I put
There's
you.
A guy that's just working way too hard.
I guess I know that we put you to sleep occasionally here on this program, but I can't imagine like being in that situation in an interview room and passing out basically mid-show. It is a great.
Yeah, this wasn't like he fell asleep in Zoom on his home office.
He's like mid media pit. Mid-interview. Sometimes it happens.
There's a guy that's just working
Needs some
too
coffee,
hard.
I guess. Wherever he writes at, he needs a raise.
What he needs is some Andy's frozen custards. That'd get him pepped up, give him a little shot of energy. You can stop in Andy's frozen custards in Fort Smith, Conway, and North Little Rock. In fact, there's 2 locations in Conway, East Oak and Dave Ward Drive, just off JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Download the Andy's app. You can order ahead, and they'll have it ready for you when you get there. You can pay and make all that so smooth and easy so you can get to that favorite treat of yours even faster, plus get the rewards and the bonuses and all the perks that you get with Andy's as well. Get the Pick 6. It's the perfect mix and match game time treat. Do it for the Final Four this weekend. That's Andy's Frozen Custards, Fort Smith, Conway, and North Little Rock. Drive up or walk up or drive through. Andy's is ready to serve you.
Got our SEC update when we return. Bruce Pearl's thoughts on Janai Broom heading into this weekend. Plus, an Arkansas pitcher earned himself an award from the SEC in Birmingham. We'll get to all that coming up.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just be honest with you.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The paint store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC
SEC champion. You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about to be tough there, yes. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally climbed the hill. It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die. This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
All right, let's get into your SEC update this morning. Bruce Pearl on the Janai Broom situation was quoted earlier yesterday saying they're kind of waiting on his practice and what that looks like today. Curious to see what his status is for this game. He's going to play. Janai said that after the win over Michigan State on Saturday, but what kind of factor he is going to be interesting to see what kind of impact he can have for his Auburn Tigers. We jokingly were talking about this with Bruce Stanton earlier. He said he doesn't. He hopes both teams lose on Saturday. When you think about Florida Gators and the Auburn Tigers, former head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers, and everything else. But Tommy, I think that's the key to the game, especially going up against that Florida front court.
Yeah, and Florida's got the hot hand right now. Broom's injury certainly brings a dynamic into this game, and I think that's the reasons right now why Florida's, I think it's close to a 3-point line right now on the Bet Saracen app that Florida's favored by. So Florida's trying to pull off a pretty long win streak here. They're going to have to win 2 more, obviously, to get to the national championship. I think that's going to push their win total to like 13 games in a row, going back to the end of the regular season.
Got a really good squad. Zach Root has been named the SEC Pitcher of the Week after his performance against Vanderbilt.
Root kicks and deals. He struck him out swinging. And Vastine looked like he'd never swung a bat in his life. 2 outs in the 8th. Root has struck out 7.
7 2/3 scoreless innings, 7 strikeouts Friday against Vanderbilt. Again, first time that Arkansas has done what they did against the Commodores in quite some time. He is, according to the game, that's the first pitcher to record back-to-back starts of at least 7 innings since 2022. He's 4-1 this season with a 3.23 ERA, 53 strikeouts, and 39 innings. Hitters are barely hitting over 200 against him. The East Carolina transfer is not having a bad SEC start thus far, Tommy.
No. And, what's the ceiling for this team? We always talk about peaking at the right time. How much better can this team get? When we talk about the ceiling, how much better can this baseball team get? They're off to an 8-1 start. They should win 3 this weekend against Missouri's 0-9, is that right, in league play? So, I mean,
jeez,
you'd like to think at home you could take 3, take 2 right now and run for the bus, but you ought to have a chance to really be in a driver's seat position in the league here after this weekend.
Former Alabama and
from a record standpoint,
Kansas guard Rylan Griffin has entered the transfer portal. Pete Mankos of On3 reporting that a lot of these type of transfer portal entries, and not just from across college basketball, but you're going to see more and more in the SEC. I'm curious to see how many inter-conference transfers we have in college basketball when it comes to that. How many guys?
700 the first day?
I think it was over 700 the first day, which was, and I don't remember how many it was the first 2 or 3 years when this started, but it was insanely higher, Tommy. The number was way over the top. But, yeah, he's the latest one. Last thing here, and this is weird in our SEC update, I'm still getting used to this, but former Oklahoma Sooner Trey Young has been named an assistant GM for the Oklahoma Sooners. He will be donating $1 million of his money for NIL in the Oklahoma basketball program.
That's one way to get a job.
Yep. It sounds like that's the way. It's like when your father.
I'll tell you right now, anyone out there that wants to be the assistant GM here at the radio station, make that $1 million check out to Thomas Kraft. That's Kraft with a C.
Lord Thomas.
And you
Kraft.
are hired.
Yep.
All right. So that's $1 million American dollars.
There you go.
Make it $900,000. We got a deal. All right.
All right. That's your SEC update here on a Tuesday.
Hey, it's brought to you by the NWA RV Show, an outdoor party that's coming up, hosted by our friends at Wheels RV and their buddies at Moix RV, sponsored by 2 of the largest RV dealers in the state. It's going to be April the 12th and the 13th in Rogers on West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, just behind Nukes. They've got all the biggest brands like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina Vibe, and Winnebago, all on site with on-site financing available as well. So if you're in the market for a new RV, head to Wheels RV right now, or make your plans to be at the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party. Again, that's April 12th and 13th in Rogers with Wheels RV.
Kevin is in Rogers this morning. Kevin, go ahead, man. You're on the Morning Rush. You're on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline.
Hey, Ty. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. This is the last good day of sunshine this week before the torrential downpour hits us the next few days.
Yeah, we need the water. I'm a big fisherman, too, so we need water. Tommy, welcome back. I hope you had a great vacation.
Man, had a wonderful time.
Let's talk about this Final Four. I heard you talking yesterday with your prediction, Ty. Let's talk about this Final Four. Let's talk about Auburn, Florida first. Well, everybody's looking down low. One thing we need to keep in mind, Florida was the only team to beat Auburn this year in the jungle. So they're going to have to beat them twice. In that game, Auburn did not shoot the three well.
Bama won.
I believe this game will cut. That's right. My bad. But
Yeah, they
looking
split.
at Florida,
Split on home floors. Visiting team won in the Iron Bowl of basketball. Both ends.
That's right. But Florida won there. I think it'll come down to the guards and 3-point shooting. It's not been a real secret that if Auburn struggles from 3-point land, some coaches have felt like, hey, let's let Broom score 30 and shut down those guards. Let's not double team him. They struggled a little bit. So I think it'll come down to 3-point shooting on that. It's going to be a great game. Florida obviously has the advantage down low, even if Broom is healthy because of the 7-footers, I think. But those guards, and, you know, a lot of it will depend on the Chad Baker Lazaro has a big game. You know, he's kind of not been around. But I agree with Tommy. I've watched Houston a lot this year. This isn't your typical make the Sweet 16, Elite Eight, a couple of Final Fours or one Final Four, and then lose because they struggle offensively. They are good offensively. I mean, they have 40% three-point shooters. They're third in the nation in three-point shooting. They lead the nation, or is right there in offensive rebounding. And those Duke guards, I mean, I give them Cooper Flagg. To me, he's the player of the year. I think, you know, he's the best player in the country. But those guards will not have any defense like will have to deal with on Saturday. I mean, they're for real. So I wouldn't be surprised if Houston beats them. But I'll listen to you, Ty and Tommy, and see what you think about that.
Kevin, appreciate the call. So, yeah, I mean, you mentioned Auburn guards. You got Kelly, Denver Jones, Chad Baker Mazar, who you referenced, the Pettiford kid, who's a 5-star lefty who's just outstanding. I mean, a great game against Michigan. So if they're hitting their shots and Broom's getting even single coverage with what I think is going to be, he's going to be playing what, Tommy, 80%, 70%? I mean, I don't know. Maybe less than that. So and he's just going to do it off of adrenaline and everything else. And then Houston-wise, you're right. I mean, adding Cryer, and they've always been a good offensive rebounding team just because of how physical they are. I hope you're right, Kevin. I hope they lose to Houston. As much improved as they are under Kelvin Sampson offensively, I just don't see it.
We think I've got the Bet Saracen app up here. What do you think the over-under is on that Houston-Duke game?
142?
136.5.
Okay.
And to put that in context, Florida and Auburn is 160.5.
This is a lame excuse, but
25-point difference.
If you talk to players about this, it's not an excuse, it's a reason. It is hard to shoot in a football stadium with the backdrop. It is not.
They played in those domes and stuff, and I don't remember who was in what, but you know they played in Indianapolis and they played on some stages last week.
No, and you're right on that because Houston,
they weren't the full arena the way they will be in the center of.
They sectioned
field.
It off, but like New Jersey was an NBA arena, San Francisco NBA arena, and then where was the other? Atlanta was the Hawks arena. So the only one was Indy where Houston played. So maybe
my guess is the Final Four is coming back to Indy pretty soon because they generally it's a
next year.
Okay, so they usually do that as a trial run the year before.
So. Yeah, next year's the setup for that. I just I hate that I feel that way about Duke, but I ultimately think now Florida. Again, Florida's just on this run that Kevin referenced, just the winning streak they've been on. They've got so many pieces. That team is so hard to contain. You saw it. If you watch the Texas Tech game, it's really hard to hold them down for 40 minutes of a collegiate basketball game. Tech did a good job for about 35 minutes, and then that talent just took over. Walter Clayton and the Red, Thomas Howe and the rest of that group was just too much in the end for the Red Raiders.
Hey, if you're looking for a place to take the kids, every Wednesday night the kids can eat at Joe's Grill and Cantina. They'll get a delicious meal for $5, and Joe's is bringing out the crayons for their coloring contest that's coming up right now. Cool prizes for the kids. The fun is just starting. It's Wednesday nights, kids night, kids karaoke as well, so you can let your little vocalist let their stars shine. It's all at Joe's every Wednesday. Kids eat for $5, so come in for the food and the fun at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
I mentioned the weather. Tommy, I am excited. First day to mow the lawn, do some weed eating, do some blowing. This afternoon, especially with the weather ongoing. I know you said you how long has it been since you actually mowed your yard?
Oh, God, 20 years?
It's been that long?
I hadn't owned a lawnmower. I don't think I've owned a lawnmower since 2000.
Is it not soothing though to like go outside? And I realize you've got a hill. You've got the hilly aspect of your yard is different. But for those out there that just have like normal, just flat yards, to me, I find it soothing. Well, throw on some headphones, listen to some music, and
you don't have a yard with a bunch of holes in it that your dog has dug and a bunch of trees. And are you pushing? Are you pushing? Or are you driving?
Yeah, pushing.
Okay.
Well,
but you are a man, Ty.
It's got the boot. I'm not gonna lie. It's got the little bit of the boost, but I still got to push it.
Self-propelled more.
Yeah, but it's not a sit on. So at least it's not that.
If I own a mower again, it will be one of those battery charged or whatever the AI mower, or whatever you call it.
The AI mower. You can control it with a remote control.
You don't have to do that. It maps out the yard. You just turn it loose. Generally, it mows at night.
I also got tricked into riding a Waymo this week. I told my friends, I'm like, I'm not getting in one of those vehicles. And he said, I just called it a Waymo. The self-driving cars.
Yeah, okay.
And
Gotcha.
Friday night, it's like, all right, I call the Uber, and this Waymo pulls up. And I said, I'm not getting in there. And I literally got grabbed and shoved in the car. I was terrified.
Do we have any of those in Arkansas?
I don't think they're.
I haven't seen anyone post about it. Someone will say no, but like everybody thought it was the coolest thing to put that on Facebook or Twitter.
It was scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Why was it scary?
Because there's no one driving the vehicle and technology.
Well, that's better than you driving it while looking at your phone.
No, it's that we're promoting the no texting thing. I'm not texting.
I've seen you in traffic.
I'm not texting this month because we're promoting it. It would be one of those things. It would be counterintuitive for us to promote something that I would, go against. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, well, good luck to you mowing your yard. You own a mower. You own a weed eater.
Weed eater, blower.
Is it a gas or a electric weed eater?
It's gas. It's the oil gas combo that I have to calculate the right amount of oil and gas.
Wow. Right. You don't want to burn the motor up.
Yeah. I'm a chemist. That
gas or electric blower.
It's also gas oil, I think.
You had to think about these things.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't pulled it out since October? September?
Did you put all the right stuff in the fuel additive when you put them to bed for the winter so that it didn't gum up your carburetor?
Don't shut up.
No, I'm not kidding. If not, it will gum up your carburetor.
You'll be lucky to get it started today.
Hold on.
You'll have a hard time getting those started.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or
No.
Well, then
you got to put it's a certain additive you put in your fuel so it doesn't gum up your carburetor while it sits there all winter.
Well,
you run them out of gas. You do one or the other.
That's news to me.
Well,
I will commend you though for doing a push mower, and Tommy, I'm on your side though, because the day I can afford to get someone to do it for me, that's what I'm going to do. Because my dad's method is to go out there, yell at his 25-year-old Cub Cadet for 30 minutes, hit it with a wrench, and hope it works, and it does.
Yeah. So, I figured up what it cost me to buy a mower, buy a weed eater, buy a blower, do all that stuff, and I could have, for what that would have cost, I could pay someone to mow the yard for about 6 years. So I said, I ain't doing it.
You're not doing it. Well, at least you went to the calculations effort. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Hey, we're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. You don't have to worry about mowing or weed eating or doing any of that stuff. You can just check into your cabin and have a good time. It's fishing time right now at Gaston's. Beautiful time. I love the mornings because it's crisp on the river. It's usually crisp about every morning of the year, but right now, a little crisp morning, you layer up, then you start pulling the layers off as the days get warmer. I love fishing at Gaston's this time of the year because it never gets too hot that it burns you out. So you want to do some springtime fishing, the White River is the place to be. And Gaston's is the only place to stay. And the only place where you can get the best guides on the river is at Gaston's. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
They're calling the Hogs at Madison Square Garden.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hey, Todd Richardson for Jim. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jim Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town. And they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jim Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jim, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
I'm ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
It's time for the Rath Rod Replacement Sale at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, bring in your old car and get up to $3,750 above appraised market value for your trade. Take advantage of over $20,000 in recent price reductions on our road-ready certified pre-owned inventory, inspected and reconditioned in our on-site Meineke Car Care Center and backed by a comprehensive warranty. It's the Rath Rod Replacement Sale all this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Cal has really just preached to me like, you score the ball well, you're a great leader. Everything you do right now, I want you to come in and do it at a higher level because I know where you want to go. So we've been staying connected, like Darius said.
Thanks for watching.
Games, making sure he feel my presence. All the other coaches make sure they feel my presence, and just to be on one page when I'm not there, so when we get there, it's more of a connection.
That's Arkansas five-star signee Malik Thomas, so you can get a chance to watch face off against another Arkansas signee tonight, Darius Acuff, tonight 8 o'clock on ESPN for the McDonald's All-America game. The Razorback basketball or baseball team also in action tonight as they take on Grambling. That is at 6 o'clock on the SEC Network app, so a couple things, Tommy, that you can watch later on tonight.
Hey, it's the 47th anniversary sale going on now at Burton Pools and Spas through the end of April. Save $1,250 off on above-ground pools and up to $2,300 off on semi-in-ground pools, plus big savings on hot spring spas as well. Payments start at just $134 a month. It's the 47th anniversary sale, Burton Pools and Spas, Fort Smith, Springdale, and now in Greenland, and online at burtonpools.com.
All right, we've teased our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question a few times already this morning. It should be relatively easy. If you haven't seen or if you haven't heard, Zvonimir Ivisic, Big Z, has hit the transfer portal. Where's Big Z from? You got to text this in on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877 377-6963. We probably will get a Kentucky text. That is not the acceptable answer. His country of origin. This should be maybe the easiest CJ's Trivia Tuesday question we've had. You don't even have to call in. You can just text in, and we will, again, get you that $25 gift card to CJ's Butcher Boy Burger, 877-377-6963. Do you know this? Okay. Yeah. You've heard it a couple times this morning.
We're not exactly playing their theme song at the in the intro, but it's close.
Caleb and Pangburn is correct. It is Croatia. Caleb, you have won a $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card. The best burgers, fries, and shakes in all of Arkansas. I know that Keith's really excited about the beef tallow they've been using for their fries. They taste even better now. They were already outstanding, but they're even better. Get the fry sauce. I promise you it's worth it. Both locations off Rogers. The Arkansas Avenue location in Russellville, and then the Weddington location in Fayetteville. I promise you, all the student athletes of the University of Arkansas stop by and see them, especially the baseball guys. You should stop by and see Keith and his team too. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. Tommy, it's going to be a What's Your Beef Wednesday tomorrow. I hope you got a beef corked up. Is there anything from this past week that irritated you? All right, perfect.
Iron Eagle's still not good enough.
Perfect.
He's boring.
Perfect.
You didn't miss Bill Dance with us on Friday, Tommy?
Oh, you did, yeah.
I saw a video.
That was pretty cool. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, halftime coming up next.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rochester.